Hello, everybody. My name's Ardendris, and welcome back to All the Mods 10. Last time, we were continuing on looking at pneumatic craft, and right now, we are all the way up to plastic production, and we had just made our PCPs, our first set of PCPs at least. Solar wafers. I'm going to assume those are used for solar panels at some point. But we've made it a pretty decent we've made it to decently far through. I'm going to be going back for jackhammers. I cannot speak. We've just started. I'm going to go back for jackhammers, and I'm going to go back for the minigun at some point. I am recording this late at night. I was going to try and record this morning, but then I had to dismantle my computer because the fans weren't spinning. That was fun. Had to fix that. Anyways, here we are. Between episodes, the computer system got deleted again. I forgot that I'm supposed to restart and reload the world a couple of times before I actually start recording, because that seems to help. It doesn't fix it entirely, but it makes it more reliable, but that this thing won't get reset, I guess. So we're working with limited resources again. Or at least more limited resources. I've gone ahead and put more UV things through, so we do have a couple of PCBs there, and I did make a half stack, or a full tank here of 32 buckets of molten plastic. And then we have these ones over here. I haven't done any more drone deliveries, but the drone delivery system is still really cool. Anyways, let's just get into it. Next up on the docket is finishing up those PCBs we were making before. And then from there, it's pretty simple to make a set of micro missiles. We have them for free, but I do want to make one set at least, just to see that we can. And then from there, it's moving on to the assembly lines, which is what we need to make the aerial interface. I can use pneumatic armor without needing to recharge. You'll need one of these in order to craft the ATM star. So we're pretty close to what we actually care about for the ATM star purposes. Pressure from the sun, solar cells. I mean, there's some more cool stuff in this mod, and it says that not everything is listed here. Like, it would be kind of cool to have, like, a drone army just flying around carrying things, but I don't have the logistics set up for that. Like, everything's in the computer, or, like, a million chests that I have at home, and I'll just go back for what I need. There's not really much to carry from one place to another via drone. But, a lot of cool stuff we're just not going to get to see. And apparently the pneumatic armor is actually really good, like on par with this stuff from Mekanism when it's highly upgraded. Or at least pretty close. 6120. No, this has more armor. Well, this thing has different sets of upgrades. Like, if we were to look at the modules... I'm pressing the wrong button. Like the modules from here, I don't think there's an armor upgrade. There's attack, Geiger, dosimeter, teleportation, vine mining, blasting, ore refinement, jetpack, gravitational. Yeah, as far as I can tell, there's no armor. Yeah, no armor upgrades for this stuff. So with highly upgraded armor modules in here, which do exist, adds 0.5 armor, defense, and 1 armor toughness. So we'll end up at the same armor and 4 extra armor toughness. Does this have that much? 6.75. But that is also augmented, I think, from something to do with its stuff. Like, that number is... I don't know. I think that number is being boosted by the thing there. If you look here, it is only 3. Okay, so the pneumatic craft armor, when fully upgraded, is technically stronger. Not by much, but it has a slight boost over this, which is interesting. Good to know. We're probably not going to make it and mess with it. I think there's some extra things like it needs pressure. Meanwhile, these things use energy that we recharge constantly. That's probably not worth switching over, but it's cool to think about that we technically could if we wanted to and wouldn't lose out much and would technically be upgrading even. But anyways, I digress heavily. Next up, after making the PCBs and running them through that thing in order to actually make sure they're ready to go, charge them up rather, We now need to go ahead and make the etching tank to start with. Fill this thing with etching acid and insert the PCBs, and it can optionally be heated above 50°C for progressively faster etching. Extracted unassembled things from the sides and failed PCBs from the top bottom. Okay, so you can heat this thing, but that will use up etching acid all the time. Meanwhile, if you just do it normally, it looks like it doesn't do that. So let's make some of these. So we have those, and it needs a set of walls, right? Yes it does. So one more, two more. I need more reinforced stone. It is weird. Like, sure. Like, if you want me to make, like, the reinforced stone and use it for building the stuff, fine. Maybe even the slabs. But the fact that I have to make a reinforced stone into reinforced bricks, which is free, basically, you just can't go in reverse, it's weird. It is it going to autocraft the glass? It's supposed to, I believe. Etching thing. Control click to craft the unavailable things. Start. It will automatically craft those glass panes. Supposedly. Oh, yep, there we go. And there we go, the etching tank. But yeah, that's just like a weird extra step to make all these extra things when realistically I feel like it should just be all compressed reinforced stone. That feels... it's a weird extra step that I don't think is really necessary. Anyways, this thing needs to be hooked up to a pressure system. I assume. We'll put in temperature, etching time. That's temperature. Heat and problems. Oh, I guess this thing doesn't actually need pressure. It just needs acid and temperature if you want to. Heat. Nope, that's the wrong thing. To do etching tank. Here it is. So there's one step done. Thanks for the free plastic. And from there, we now need the etching acid. Don't ask. Etching acid is made in the pressure chamber with molten plastic and some other stuff used in the etching tank. I've already looked at this recipe. Basically, we need to take some bucket. This is so weird. If you click on one thing and you try to click through back to it, it doesn't work. Like, etching thing I made in the pressure chamber. Creeper drop, zombie drop, spider eye, and a bucket of molten plastic. That's simple. That's why I made all that stuff preemptively. One of you, and I'm gonna need an amount of etching acid, I believe. So I think what I should do is make. Let's just start with 3 sets of it. That should be a good place to start. Should have saved the recipe. And in fact, save the recipe here. So 3, and then times 2. So 6 gunpowder, 6 rotten flesh, 6 spider's eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I only did 5. So those go in here, not you. Those things should then be moved in via this. This is still gonna work, right? Like, it's filled in with the buckets. It's now filled with the spider's eyes. I'm assuming what it will do is it will take, like, it will take the ingredients it needs for part of it, and then it will leave the rest behind. Oh, yes, and we did have extra plastic sheets in there. I just went ahead and hit this button right here to pull out things that we didn't want in there. So, there's the rest of the rotten flesh. It should now move the gunpowder and, in theory, start crafting. I do much prefer having this glass wall here. It makes it a lot easier to actually see what's going on. Yep, there we go. We have our first set of etching acid. Run you through here. And then we're going to need these. And we're going to need this. Don't spill it on your shirt. Yeah, spilling acid on yourself sounds like a really bad idea. There's now a cat fight going on. 1 second. Okay, now I have a very upset cat hiding next to me now. Technically have 2 cats, but one of them always... But basically, they, like, share the house. One gets one half of the house, one of them gets the other, because they don't get along. And the more inquisitive one has decided that she likes to go try and make friends. It doesn't go well. they end up fighting, and now we have a cat in here upset that she can't go say hi. So that's a thing. Anyways, the etching acid is in here, it's spilling. Does it actually drop, or is that just like a little design choice? It doesn't look like it goes away on its own. But one of these goes through, etching process that takes a while, 150 seconds, 2.5 minutes. Thankfully, I can just do... Thankfully, they can all go in at once. So I can get like a dozen of them, put them all in at once, or just put them in like this, and just in 2.5 minutes, it'll eventually go through. Do I heat it here? It's probably worth it to at least try heating it. Hmm. I would have pushed this thing back by a block, moved the pressure thing, and put this on a heat line instead and just move it over. Either that, or I can just attempt this. And we're going to see, one, how much it does, and two, how much it uses up. Heat lines, here we go. Come on, I'm pressing all wrong buttons. So, okay, that hooks up, and that just needs to hook up like so. Temperature did... What is the temperature on this thing? These things don't move a lot of heat, but it's above 50 now. Etching acid usage. The hotter it is, the faster it goes, with the more etching acid it uses. What's the max on these things? Insulation, heat capacity 1, conduction 5. I have no idea what that really means. It just goes, basically. So that's not a lot. It's down to only a minute, and it doesn't look like that's planning on stopping. What does this thing max out at temperature-wise? 1912. So in theory, that means this one should also reach 1912 eventually. I don't really need it that high. I think it might be just a case where... where I'll hook this thing up but only unhook it when I need it. Although it seems to have roughly... No. The temperature rises higher when it's not doing something, it looks like. So there's 10. The cat just completely flopped over. Anyways, there's that. There's that. Like, not like a subtle flop. No, just full-blown pop. Okay, there's another one. And we do have 10 unassembled PCBs. Still doesn't do much by itself. I exposed it to a light box and then put it through there, etch it, and it is now put together. A free bucket of this stuff, which I'm just going to go put right in there. And elevator collar. Don't really care about the elevator system. Unassembled PCB. Thanks for a free empty one. That will just get run through with the rest of them. And let's move on. So the finished PCB here, or this is unassembled. In order to finish it, craft together your unassembled PCB with 2 capacitors and 2 transistors to get yourself a finished PCB. Uses, save recipe. Yes, put this one. I pressed the wrong button? I pressed the wrong button. That goes like that. Do these have other uses? No. Cool. So just go like that. And we now have 10 finished PCBs. Thank you very much. No idea what that just gave us. Free programmer. I think that's important. Oh yeah, you just need that for programming drones. And otherwise, micro missiles is going to give us something for free. But let's just make a set real quick, shall we? So, in order to make micro missiles at pneumatic, what do we need? I know I just looked at this recipe. I have no idea what it actually needed, though. Micro missiles, 4 plastic, a finished PCB, a piece of TNT, and a fire charge. Fire charge, easy. Just need to grab a piece of gunpowder real quick. I'm sure I have fire charges somewheres. It's just whatever. TNT, again, easy to make. So, where did it go? This keeps changing pages on me. Micro missiles, TNT. Easy. I know I have it, don't need to make it though. Stop changing pages. Micro missiles, fire charge. Easy to make. Micro missiles. And we now have officially made our own set of this stuff. And top speed, turn speed, damage all there. Small hand-launched projectiles with smart guidance systems and explosive payload. Can be restored with TNT and an anvil. Sneak right click to open the setup entry. Cool. So if we just do this, entity filter, smart, dumb. You can balance between top speed, turn speed, and whatever. How does this work? Ah, I see. So I can say I want it to go faster and do more damage, but I don't care about turning. Or I can say I only want to damage, and they'll basically just go straight pretty slowly. Um, let's see. It'll turn to make sure it always hits its target like that. Let's put it somewheres like I think I care more about speed and damage than turning rate, so let's just set it there. And I don't really care about entity filters right now. So let's just test this real quick, because I never actually used this thing before. I have them randomly, but haven't tested them. So let's see. Is there anything? Cow. How do I make you actually lock on? Smart hand loaded to do with smart guidance systems and explosive payload. Does this tell me... free drone. Oh, and I guess that gives us the free programming drones. They are amazing. Look into using them if you want. It gave us a free programmer. Required to program stuff. Cool. Is there any... Terrain damage disabled. No idea how to fix that. Firing mode smart. Control. Micro missiles are going to be under... I assume it's not tools. Oh, look, it's under tools. Small hand-launched things. To fire, simply right-click. Seek targets within a 24-block spherical radius. Centering on the once a suitable target is found, the missile will turn towards that target. Never target me, any pets belonging to me. Will not target item entities. If you aim directly at it, it will lock on. You can open up the GUI. Change between the two modes. There we go. So, if you just, like, throw them randomly without really looking, it will just go to the nearest thing. Cool. So, training dummies. They should, in theory, just always go to a training dummy if I'm looking at it, though. Oh, that is considerably more damage than I was expecting. Seven, 151. That is... Okay, so 7 damage is a decent number. That 77, I'm assuming, is the effect of the Power Glove. But the Power Glove is only 4.5 times, so that shouldn't do it. Why is it getting boosted by 11 times eventually? That doesn't make much sense. I'm assuming the 150 was on a crit, like a crit and then boosted at the same time. That is an outlier. I don't think I should be counting that, although I'm not entirely sure where it gets 77. I don't know. I'm not going to complain. This is apparently a pretty effective weapon, even more effective than I was expecting. Unassembled. Oh yes, run more of these through. But still, I would like to know why it acts the way it does. Still, I'll just keep one of these on hand. Pretty cheap, pretty easy to mess with, pretty fun. So, moving on. Next up is the assembly stuff. This stuff looks like it's going to be a little bit more in-depth, considering how much there is of it. So, the assembly controller, always required. The next stage of this mod requires you to set up assembly lines. The main component of an assembly line is the assembly controller. This is where the pressure will go. Okay, so I'm assuming I need to make one of these, 3 finished PCBs, a pressure tube, and compressed iron. Easy enough. At platform, the item will need to be placed here before getting picked back up. Cool, save that. I'm going to need a lot of PCBs, aren't I? So this will take the items out of your input chest. I assume I'm going to need one of these, so save that. Required for drill recipes, I'm assuming I'm going to need you. Assembly laser, you know what, just grab everything. And the IO will drop the finished product into your output chest. Got it. So I'm going to need 2 chests, and then I'm going to need a bunch of these arms. And then this just teaches you how to use them. Smart filter. Although not every recipe requires the same components, you can set up your assembly lines with everything installed. A simple assembly line setup that can be used for everything is shown in the image below. Read the quest for each component for some important for some important information about them. Speed upgrades also make this so much quicker. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure what that block is there. That looks like it might be a creative pressure block, but yeah, that's the assembly platform, the assembly controller, and then the 4 different arms, input, output, I'm assuming. So, cool, let's get to crafting. I have 9 finished PCBs right now. That might be enough already, but I'll double check in a moment. So I can just make a couple more. 30 seconds, 35 seconds per. I'm gonna cut the feed to this thing. I only have a couple more of these to go, and I'd rather not waste all this etching acid if I can avoid it. I think I can set these up on a redstone block to say turn on heat, turn off heat, but I don't remember how. I'll do it later on. So, let me just finish running these last through PCBs through, and then we'll get to actually finishing up we'll get to the next step in a moment. Okay, so there's one more PCB getting finished up in here, but apparently I ran out of transistors. I assume a decent number of them just got deleted then. Those are actually kind of annoying to make, aren't they? I'm also going to need more capacitors. Slime ball, plastic, gold nuggets. Save the recipe. Gold nuggets, redstone plastic. I can save the recipe. Why are these so annoying to make? It's especially extra annoying since I definitely already had a bunch of these left over and they just get deleted. Where is this? Doop doop. So if I were to just put like 18 of these in here, plastic sheets. I'm gonna need way more of those, aren't I? So let's see. 1 redstone per, 1 slime ball per. So 9 and 9 to start. I'll have to come in and make more of both, I'm sure. But that should do for the moment. I do not have any upgrades for this thing. This thing only moves 4 items at a time, so it's a little bit slow, but it's not that big a deal. So eventually we'll have more. I'll be able to make the rest of these PCBs correctly. But for now, let's actually get to work. Controller, easy. Take 3 of these things, 3 compressed iron, and a pressure tube. Assembly controller, done. Assembly platform needs more compressed iron and cylinders, which cylinders are actually one of the few things we still have in droves, even after all this time, all the things we made. Thank you for the platform. IO input needs a basic hopper. Simple enough, and we get the IO input. And inventory is basically full already. So I think I'm putting this here. With this is going to go here, here. Imports can go here. That looks good. Can this input from the bottom, or does it? Yeah, this thing inputs from the bottom, which means I'm gonna have to go something like that. This thing doesn't have an output on the bottom, does it? No, it doesn't. Only outputs from the back. No, I guess this will have to do. This looks kind of rough. I was really hoping that would just work. Hold on, that does work, doesn't it? I'm probably just going to have to end up giving this thing the upgrade that lets it input output to the things right next to it, because that upgrade does exist. You know what? Sure, we'll go ahead and make that upgrade, make that thing just input directly into it. Anyways, we have inputs, platform. We now need assembly drill. I can just go ahead and make it like so. I tried to put it there and it didn't want to stay. The assembly laser requires a red stained glass, which, simple enough. That assembly laser, red stained glass. I only need the single one. Assembly laser, thank you. I'm assuming these go in the corners. And finally, the export requires one more of these. And we're going to need a dropper, which again, pretty easy. We can make infinite of most stuff we are ever going to need. So, exports. That's the drill. Never mind, that's the wrong thing. Exports. Laser drill. I don't think it really matters. I think the picture shows that as the laser, this one as the drill. So, in theory, this is now a functioning system for this. And then smart filter. Have any amount of chest and whatever. So, assembly controller. Thanks for the free smart chest upgrade kit. Interesting, not entirely sure what that's for. Thanks for the free micro missiles. I probably got those from a quest then, if that's the case. It gave us a free thing. Drone interface. That's a free drone interface. That's a free drone interface. That's a free smart chest. I was expecting another drone interface. And then this thing is just how you have them set up like this. Now you can make them. Speed upgrades are pretty nice here. And a free finished PCB, thank you. And using a laser assembly program, you can speed up the production of unassembled PCBs. Just put an empty PCB in the input chest, pump in some pressure, and wait. Okay, thanks for the free one. Unassembled in here. Empty gets etched, and apparently it's faster than a UV thing, or at least it's easier to automate, I would assume. So this thing is pretty close to working now. Just input pressure into that thing, give it a safety upgrade, and go get the stuff to make a bunch more speed upgrades. What was I missing for these ones? Oh yes, I just need a bunch of buckets of lubricant and a bit more sugar. So simple enough to do that. Let's see. And how do I make this upgrade that lets it output to things next to it? Increases range, does different things when used in different things. So range is what I'm going to assume I need. Volume, security. Is this... I could have sworn this thing had an output directly to things next to its upgrade. Maybe I'm thinking of something else? What do you have for upgrade? Security, we're gonna need. Problems, not enough pressure, no assembly program. Pressures, none, status, everything there set up. Okay, so make one more safety upgrade, which just needs another one of these, which, here they are. So there's that, and I'm going to need a little bit of lapis. I'm making a lot of the same stuff over again, aren't I? So there's that. Safety upgrade. And let's just see. If I try to run this, just put like a stack of coal into this thing, does that provide pressure? Apply at least 3. It does. Cool. So all of these things are going to need speed upgrades, which means I'm going to need a bunch of sugar. So I can get that. It's just going to take me a moment. So let me go put it together real quick and actually finish this line because I removed it again for to make more some unassembled things. So let me go get sugar. Let me go get speed upgrades. Okay, for now, I'm just going to make the 5 because it's actually a little bit annoying to make it. In trying to make the lubricant that you need to make this, in turn, I ended up making I ended up making LPG by accident and messing it up and having to set it up to take out via a tank. Then I tried to make it again, and I ended up making kerosene because you need to put in redstone first, or else diesel immediately becomes kerosene. It's a whole ordeal. Eventually, I have 5 speed upgrades. This thing seems to reach the 5 it needed relatively quickly, so I don't think I need to upgrade this thing for pressure production at the moment. So this thing now has speed upgrades. It still needs a program, and it still needs a recipe, or whatever it needs to make. So let's continue on, shall we? That was way more work than it needed to be. So aphorism time. Signs, never heard of them. Um, a smart sign which can store and display arbitrary amounts of text, scaled so the text always fits. Right-click to diet. I mean, that's pretty cool, but I don't care too much. Anyways, advanced pressure tubes are the best pressure tubes available, being able to hold 20 bars of pressure. Although these are really cool on their own, they can also be used in some cooler recipes. So, it needs an assembly program for laser, an assembly program for drill and laser. How do you get these? You can buy them. Is there any way to make them? No. Cool. So time to make some Amadron deliveries, or orders rather. So just take out some emeralds. I'm gonna need them. Give us the Amadron tablet. Okay, so this goes in here. 37 emeralds to work with. So there's drill and laser. I think that's what I want. So order 1 of these. Anything else in here I care about? Silver cartridges. Those are from the Immersive Engineering's revolver, I believe. So let's just place the order. I think I only need the 1 program. Although I'm assuming that since it's so cheap, it probably breaks and I'm going to have to get more of them eventually. So with that done, we'll be able to make the pressure tubes. And then the aerial interface should come pretty soon after. Oh, excuse me. So this goes in here. So now, how does this work? It wants an input and an output chest. Easy enough to build chest, obviously, but how do I make 1 input, 1 output? So there's that, and there's that. Is there? Oh, not every recipe to do. Read the quest for each component for some important information about them. That just says how to use them. It doesn't actually say, oh yeah, it definitely works like this. The export, this will drop the finished product into your output chest. This will take items out of your input chest. There's no way to determine which is which. According to the picture, I think I set this up weirdly. Yellow banded there is the assembly drill, and then the assembly laser. Okay, so I put the actual assembly tools in the back. Meanwhile, they have those in the front. And then I have input. I think this should still work in theory. I'm assuming the chest just needs to be next to it. So, if we want to go ahead and actually use this thing to build the advanced pressure tubes, let's just save the recipe. I need to put a block of compressed iron in with all 4 things, and it should in turn make this for us. So just go and grab a block of this stuff. This should, in theory, grab it, put it on there, running, 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 or not. Input. Are you? Is it working? It says everything's online. Is it? Are you working? Ah, there we go. Running, standby. Now we're sending an error. Not enough pressure. Ah, I see. So it hit 5 pretty quickly. But since it's just the 1 compressor running at normal speed, it's not actually enough to keep it running long term. So in turn, I'm going to need to run more pressure into it, which I guess I'm going to have to go in from the bottom with a second compressor in that case. I don't really see another way to get pressure into this thing. Or I go ahead and make more speed upgrades. You know what? Speed upgrades are probably still easier. 1 second. Okay, let's just test 4 speed upgrades for the moment. Okay, that seems to be able to boost the pressure above where it needs to be. It looks like we're in working order now. Running, it's about to hit 5 again. It's still not doing anything? Okay, so you say you're running. It says you're not having any problems. It says everything's online. It says you have pressure. So in theory, the arms and whatnot should be working, right? This should be working. Does it really matter where I put the input export? Am I going to have to try moving them back and forth a bit? Maybe, I guess. Recipe, all 4 things there with the drill and laser, a block of compressed iron, and the advanced pressure tube. Yeah, this, in theory, should be working, right? Or is it just, I feel like those arms should be doing something. Stand by. Let's try this. So, grab the chest and all the arms back out. So, assembly laser. Export goes here. Input goes here. And then this has the red, which is the a drill, I believe. Yeah, red is laser. Alright, okay. I was gonna say red was laser, and then I second-guessed myself. Oh, there we go. I guess that mattered? It's weird that that matters. Like, it says it was hooked up. It said it should be working. I guess that's fine, though, because, like, this needs to, like, reach across. It would have been weird animation. It is still weird animation, even when it works. You know what? That is just weird. Anyways, an advanced pressure tube, tearing it up. Thank you very much. And it gives us a free reinforced air canister. Now, we can go ahead and make the aerial interface, and that is technically the last thing we need from this mod. But we're going to make the jackhammer and the drill. Is there anything else I actually care about? I don't think so. Pressure from lightning is actually kind of cool. The aerial interface can be used to refill your pressurizable things with pressure. Now you can use your pneumatic armor without needing to recharge. You'll need one of these in order to craft the ATM star. So let's just save the recipe right there. And can I just do this? What are those? Pressure chamber walls. I believe I have a bunch of extras, don't I? Pressure chamber walls. Yeah, with just everything else we already have laying around in the new advanced pressure tubes, we now have the aerial interface. Interdimensional convenience. Let's see, this takes a bunch of FE. By using advanced technology, which compresses items so much they become as small as atoms, this machine can use the player's inventory as its own. This means you can hopper items in and out of this machine, and they will be added or removed to the inventory of the player who placed a block. Smarter insertion methods, like drones or logistics frames, could be used to keep the player's inventory supplied with 64 torches, for example. Okay. That is so much cooler than I was expecting it to be. So supply it with 10 bars of pressure at all times, and energy, and everything. And then just like input items onto the side. Dispenser allows interfacing of food and experience instead of items. Only food items will be accepted through the aerial interface. So you can set it to feed you instead, or input XP, security, volumes. You know what? That's really cool. Is there anything that I would want constantly in my inventory that I couldn't already do? That's really cool. I don't think we have a reason for it though, which actually makes me sad because I really would have liked to try it out, but I just don't think I need it. So, where did it go? Aerial interface, there it is. A really cool item we can't use. There are so many really cool items in this mod pack that we just cannot use for one reason or another. It makes me really sad. Is there anything else we can make in here? The tiles. It is so weird that it makes you set up this whole assembly line thing for 2 3 items. Because there's the tile thing here that are basically just signposts you can put an unlimited amount of text on. 2 different recipes for the tubes, and making something you can make otherwise. That is kind of weird. Like, that is weird that you have to set up a full machine for just a couple of things. So this is a very cool mod. It has some weirdness about it, though. So this joins this line here, meaning we just need the blast-proof casings or the 256Ms, which both are still a ways off. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back. Let's actually finish up making the minigun and the pneumatic jackhammer, and then we're going to end off for today, and that's probably going to be the end of this mod as well. Rocket boots? Chip boots upgrade, cool. Anyways, don't actually need to pin that. So let's take a look at how to make the pneumatic jackhammer first, I guess. I was just looking at this a moment ago. So the jackhammer itself has pretty basic recipe, bunch of stuff we already have, and in fact should just be able to do that once I grab 2 more pieces of plastic. So jackhammer got in, just gonna need to fill it up with pressure and digging with jack. Sneak right click to open up the setup, switch dig mode with the scroll wheel, sneak, install a drill bit. Okay, so you can add silk touch or fortune here, put the drill bit there, and then you can change how it works, I guess. Oh, there's that. It also just kind of looks pretty cool. I want to see it running, though, obviously. Let's go back and start filling this up with pressure real quick while we're doing other things. So, the drill bit. Actually, I have extra charging ports, don't I? I did. Did they get deleted? Now it's here. Cool. An extra charging station. I don't have an extra Oh, I do have an extra safety thing. Where did that come from? Oh yes, I had it. I pulled it out, but then I just made speed upgrades instead. That's right. So eventually, that's getting pressure. This should get pressure. Spinning wheel of death for a moment there. That's just charging. Let's go ahead and make the drill bits, shall we? There's that free pneumatic door. And to make... Oh, that actually got the pneumatic door as well, which got us something else for free. And in order to make netherite drill bit, we need to make a diamond drill bit. So let's just save that in the thermopneumatic processor with 8 bits of lubricant and a diamond block. So I need to put... where are my buckets? Ah, dang it, I just smalled the game. I do not know the word I actually want right there. I cannot think of it. So 8 bits of lubricant is 8 bits of diesel, which I don't actually have enough of. I didn't realize I wasn't going to have enough there, but okay. Should be simple enough. Get a bucket, both of you, and just add it to the collection down here. I have extra kerosene and extra gasoline that I didn't have buckets for, so I just started putting them down there. I should probably just sell some of this off, shouldn't I? But there's that. These things are probably still full. Maybe. They produce quite a bit faster than the diesel, so whether or not that's enough is yet to be seen. Oh, I'm out of diesel. So let's see. Yeah, I'm 1 bit of lubricant short, aren't I? Yes, I am. So let me just let this thing run for a moment. I think it's going to fill up too much, so just do that, and then this should reach it relatively soon. I guess, I don't really have anything else to get ready, do I? I guess I'll go over the netherite drill bit as well while I'm waiting. So that just goes like that. So the diamond drill bit, we saw the recipe there. Then this, you put with a netherite ingot to get to the unassembled one, which goes into the assembler controller. I was looking at the wrong bits, but just the assembler controller has a couple more. I already saw that one and that one. I already saw that recipe. You can also make these solar cells. You can make redstone into dye, and you can make netherite drill bits. So it's still not useful. It's still not all that great. Hold on. Solar wafers are used for making solar cells, which you can only make if you're using just a plain drill upgrade then? Weird. Okay then. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting just to use one program for everything, but I guess not. Oh well, the only things in there are like the solar cells, which I don't think I care too much about anyways. So we're gonna do that in just a moment. So 8 bits of lubricant. Looks like we're good there. Just change it back on over. And grab a diamond block, and then grab out a single bit of netherite as well. So this goes in here. Diamond drill bits. Required temperature over 500,000, so it should be working. Move fluid, no. Show recipe. Diamond drill bit requires 500,000, and it should start going. Problems, needs 7.5 bars of pressure, which means I need more. Oh, interesting. I actually need to change these out for advanced pipes then, because there's not enough pressure going into this thing. Interesting. I wasn't really expecting that just yet, so just do that instead. This thing can still only produce 5, sadly. So, will adding another pressure input just be enough, maybe? I don't know. I wasn't expecting this just yet, I guess. There's that. I need a couple more levers, which are apparently gone. Where? There they are. I was like, I know I had more of them somewheres. So just go ahead and make another one of these into another safety thing. And I'm going to need a bunch more speed upgrades as well. So I guess I can just steal the ones from there in a moment. So like so, and so, and just give this thing like a stack of coal. And just steal these speed upgrades for a moment. Will that be enough to boost the pressure in this thing up high enough? No, because this is just a basic pressure thing, not an advanced one. But is that going to work? I don't know if, because these things max out at 5, if they'll never produce more than 5. I'm hoping so, but I'm really not sure. I'll see you in a moment. I guess we'll get to see if that... Okay, this thing empties when it hits 5. This thing... that's slightly annoying. I'm gonna need volume upgrades. How do you make the volume upgrades? An air canister, compressed iron. Okay, it's not that expensive. I think I actually have air compressors that I got for free. So there's 2 of these things. Upgrade these into volume and volume. Oh, I need more compressed iron. So is that... Oops, is that just going to work, or am I going to need to put more work into this? Like, if I just put you in like so, it now maxes out at what? Volume increases the air capacity of the machine by 2 times square root u, where u equals the number of volume upgrades. Oh, no, that's divided. Square root? Weird. I don't know. So in theory, that should boost its max to something. Nope. Still didn't. I don't know how to make this work. I was expecting that to just work. But I guess it doesn't. Oh. It's 2 increases by 2 times the square root of 2. The square root of 2, it's like really small, so it's like, it should be boosting it to like 7 or something. I don't know, let me go ahead and make like a bunch more of these things. It has a max of 25, let's just try that. I can probably make that many. Okay, it appears I have misunderstood something. Volume upgrades increase air capacity, which in turn lowers pressure, so you never want to build those things ever? I guess. Like, you're never going to want lower pressure, are you? Like, everything is about having high pressure, so you want low pressure at all times. Why would I ever... Okay, so how do I get the pressure I need for this? How... I don't know. Make it here. Do. Can be used in pneumatic jackhammer. How do I get air usage times 10? How do I get 7.5 bars of pressure into that thing? So I need the advanced pressure tubes. That's a given. So the fact that you can, the fact that you, that the fact that this thing is here is pointless because you can't make it until you're all the way over here anyways. I don't know. Pressure chamber stores more pressure, but you can't move it out of there, can you? Smart chests. I don't know. As far as I can tell, all the pressure producers all have 5, right? Pneumatic, programmer, liquid hopper, liquid compressor, gas lift. Generates compressed air, max pressure 5 bars. So how on earth? Advanced air compressor, tier 2 of the air compressor, like adjusted, generates compressed air using any fuel that can burn. Oh, okay. So that 100% should be somewheres on this screen. The fact, oh, it is. So yeah, this being over here is completely pointless. This should be over here then. Cool. So just take this thing, and take all the upgrades out of it, pick it up, and then use it to upgrade. You can go in there, give me this. Is it just this simple? Just one more compressed iron. Yeah, it really is that simple to upgrade this thing, I guess. So there's that. It now maxes out at 20. So this goes here. Give it the security, give it the speeds, and give it the coal real quick. Just 12. Just a stack of regular coal will do. Temperature, advanced air compressor. It's producing a lot more. It's using a lot more coal, though. Heat. The machine produces heat. Heat can be applied by placing a block. Okay, cool. Efficiency. Cool the machine down to under 50. This thing wants to be cold while it produces heat. That is weird. Okay, why are you maxing out 5? Give me this heat vent real quick, shall we? Like, this thing should disperse the heat from a block it's on. I do not know. This does not want to work. I do not know how to make this work, because this feels counterintuitive in certain places. Ice? Do I have ice blocks in here? I think I do. No, I know I have ice blocks somewheres. I do not know where I put them, though. This does not feel good to use. I truly do not know how to use this. It does not feel good to use. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do further testing. Anyways, I want to thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed as much as I have. I'm curious if I can pipe heat out of that to use elsewhere. Like, if this thing is running, like, could I use this in place of the heat producer thing here? Like, if I could, I pipe the heat out of that thing and put it in there instead? I don't know. It's worth testing, I suppose. In fact, I suppose I can run that test real quick. Just put this... where did it go? Grab our heat pipes here. Those can just go like so. And just... like that. Let's one of these advanced things here. And nope, cannot do that. I think I'm going to need to move this one. Put an advanced pipe here. Get rid of you. grab the advanced one and put it there when I can find it. Uh, hmm. This still just doesn't work like I want it to. Put this here instead because I'm forgetting where everything goes. This is a lot for just like a test to make sure this thing works like I want it to. So that should pipe heat out and pipe heat in elsewhere. Give it the safety and speed security upgrades like I wanted before. Give it coal. Okay, so temperatures now roughly is staying lower. Should be piping heat into there. Uh, Pressure is still getting vented from everything else though. So let's say I just remove that for a moment. Where is pressure getting? Those things are all there. Air compressor, temperature still rising. This does not feel good. This does not feel good to use. Just close off everything for a moment. I don't know. I'll keep working on it. I want to thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed as much as I have, and I hope to see you next time where hopefully we'll actually get the pneumatic hammer and the minigun working. But without further ado, take care, everybody. Blah. I want to thank everyone one more time for watching, and a special thank you to the channel members, Yamato, Tanagura, and Goddess of the Starfield Void. Thank you both so much for the extra support. For real now, take care, everybody.